5-member bench refused Nomane's application. Long-awaited university opened. And police minister warned political leaders. A very good evening. This is National EMTV News. I am Louis Maingu. Thank you for joining us. A 5-member bench of the Papua New Guinea Supreme Court, led by Chief Justice Salika, has refused an application by the Deputy Opposition Leader and Member for Chuave Open, James Nomane, seeking an interim order to restrain Parliament from dealing with a proposed constitutional amendment.
The amendment would introduce a new provision to Section 145 of the Constitution regarding motion of no confidence in the Prime Minister. The initial bill is to prevent a vote of no confidence for 18 months if a previous one fails.
Nomane, who filed the application under Section 18, subsection 1 of the Constitution, argued that if Parliament proceeded with the amendment, his substantive case would be rendered futile.
The court refused my application on the grounds that the Supreme Court lacked jurisdiction, as it could not interfere with parliamentary proceedings, and in so doing, it enforced the separation of power espoused in Section 99 of the Constitution. In protecting the rights of members of Parliament to have freedom of speech, to debate, and to engage in parliamentary proceedings consistent with Section 115, subsection 2 of the Constitution, my interim injunction to prevent Parliament from deliberating on the proposed amendment to Section 145 was refused.
However, the court ruled that violating such an order would violate the rights to freedom of speech and debate in Parliament as enshrined in Section 115, subsection 2 of the Constitution.
It's very important to note that on paragraph 3 of the decision, on page 6, paragraph 3, the decision further states that the proposed amendment would have nil effect on the vote of no confidence, since the proposed constitutional amendment would operate prospectively, not retrospectively. Now, what does this mean? The difference between operating prospectively and retrospectively. That means that a motion of no confidence in the Prime Minister can be moved at any time, after which this proposed amendment, if it goes through, will kick in.
The court also held that the applicant failed to demonstrate that an interim order was necessary to prevent prejudice to his case. The application for the interim order was therefore refused, with the applicant ordered to pay the intervener's costs. The decision underscores the court's position that the Parliament's legislative processes, particularly debates and proceedings, are protected by constitutional provisions and cannot be interfered with through judicial orders. The case is adjourned to 14th of March for hearing of the substantive matter, and orders that applicants to file submissions by March 7th and interveners to file a response on March 10th. Meanwhile, Nomane added that he stands firm with his call for Prime Minister James Marape to resign.
Absolutely. The Prime Minister has lost the moral authority. There's no respect in this Prime Minister across the country. And we can see this in the total deterioration in law and order, and the fact that this Prime Minister has absolutely no idea, after 6 years of being the Prime Minister, to fix law and order, to fix the economy, to create employment, to reduce inflation. He's got no idea. If you've got no idea and you're promoting a kakistocracy where you are appointing the least qualified members of Parliament to be in key ministerial portfolios, we are just taking the country on the freeway express lane to becoming a banana republic. So absolutely I stand by my call that the Prime Minister should resign for his failure in the last 6 years to improve the socio-economic indicators and the living standards of Papua New Guineans.
James Guken, National EMTV News.
Meanwhile, Prime Minister James Marape commended the Supreme Court for its decision for separation of powers, demonstrating its powers as guardians of the Constitution. This was after the Deputy Opposition Leader James Nomane's request for an interim injunction on the proposed amendment of Section 145 of the Constitution.
In a statement today, Prime Minister welcomed the decision, stating that the Supreme Court has once again demonstrated its vital role as the guardian of the Constitution. He said the court ruled that it lacked jurisdiction to restrain Parliament from debating and voting on the proposed constitutional amendments. Prime Minister urged all Papua New Guineans to respect the decisions of the courts and allow the judicial process to resolve disputes rather than resorting to unlawful actions or political instabilities. James Guken, National EMTV News.
Anna Joku, the accused in an ongoing legal case, appeared before the Waigani Committal Court this morning for a second charge.
This comes after her first charge was formally presented on December 4, 2024. Today, Joku was arraigned on 2 counts of defamatory publication under Section 21, Subsection 2 of the Cybercrime Code Act 2016. The prosecutor served her with a complete set of the police hand-up brief concerning both charges during the session. In addition, the prosecutor filed a motion to revoke Joku's bail conditions, citing concerns that she may have breached one of the terms set by the court, this being not to re-offend. The matter has been adjourned, with the next court hearing scheduled for March 26, 2025. James Guken, National EMTV News.
Minister for Police Peter Chiamalili Jr. and Police Commissioner David Manning have jointly issued a stern warning to political leaders that are using social media to criticize the government of the day. Police Minister Peter Chiamalili Jr. has made a call out to the political leaders, stating that the most appropriate place to criticize the government is on the floor of Parliament and not on social media.
I want to also put this a caution to our political leaders. Be mindful, take responsibility. Law and order is both government and opposition. It's leaders of Parliament. We need to provide leadership within our own space, within our own community, within our province and district. If you have a peculiar or very concerning matter, the most appropriate time for you to share your grievances is on the floor of Parliament. So I just sound out to all our political leaders, do not sensationalize this, do not try to politicize this, ensure that we are taking responsibility as leaders.
With lawlessness happening around the country, the police minister urged all political leaders to avoid sensationalizing current events to provoke unrest in the country. Supporting his statement was the governor for Southern Islands Province, William Powie.
We must also sound out. Government must sound out warning to social media that we are equally responsible for creating social disorder and chaos and complete breakdown, undermining the rule of law if our people are not careful in the dissemination of information, because it can break the fabric of the institutions and the country's law and law enforcement in this country. So I think social media is causing a lot of harm and destruction for the governance and good of this country in terms of law and justice sector.
Meanwhile, Police Commissioner David Manning also shared the same sentiment over the involvement of politics in the death of 2 police officers in Islands region. He appealed to the political leaders to not use the deaths of the policemen to propagating false information through social media.
What I do find dishonorable and very disgusting is the politicization of the deaths of my policemen. Politicize whatever you want with anything else in this country, but do not cheapen the deaths of my policemen.
Meanwhile, Police Commissioner David Manning said a criminal investigation has been launched into the tragic death of the police officers in Mendi in Southern Islands Province. He said this after the grieving family of the late policeman petitioned the government yesterday.
We will continue to conduct a criminal investigation into this unfortunate incident. We'll also be conducting an administrative investigation as well as alongside the criminal investigation. The administrative investigation will look at how we can do better in protecting our members. We're hoping that as a result of that administrative investigation, we'll recommend to the executive how we can best protect our members, how we can tweak our SOPs, standard operating procedures, to ensure that the occurrence of this happening again in the future is minimized.
The Papua New Guinea University of Technology have responded in a statement over the 14 students who were recently convicted by the late district court for one count of drunk and disorderly conduct.
The PNG University of Technology Registrar Veronica Thomas, in an issued statement, said the fate of the 14 students who were found guilty by the district court for drunk and disorderly conduct now rests on the university's policies on the number of days they miss classes. Registrar Thomas said besides the university's zero-tolerance policy, students are still subject to the laws of the country off campus. She added that the university strides towards improving the quality of education and systems. This behavior is a contradiction to these efforts and must serve as a lesson to all university students that they are not immune to the laws. The 14 students were apprehended at 3 a.m. on Saturday last week by police after a tip-off from the toll-free call center. They were then held at the Lae Central Police Station cells and appeared before the court on Monday, where they were fined 4,000 kina or 2 years of imprisonment. After the decisions were handed down by Magistrate Nasiling Bingtao, the 14 students were then moved to the Beaumont prison to be released upon payment of the 4,000 kina fine. Jessica Nui, National EMTV News, Lae.
National EMTV News continues after the break. Stay with us.
Attention all students, parents and schools. The Smart Start School promotion is back for 2025. Your school could win a school grant worth 44,000 kina. Here's how. Collect 3 empty packets of Smart Start breakfast biscuits, write your name, number and school on an envelope, put the empty packets inside and drop them into an entry box at a registered school. The school with the highest number of valid entries in each region wins. 1,000 consolation prizes are also up for grabs. Register your school now with Paradise Foods Limited. Smart Start breakfast biscuit, proudly made by Paradise Foods.
You get big data and big value with Telecom Good Pillar mobile data plans. From only 3 kina, you get 1 gig for 24 hours. And for only 150 kina, you get 130 gigs over a whopping 30 days. And with loads of Good Pillar data plans to choose from, there's a small, medium or large plan to match your budget. Dial *777# to subscribe. Telecom, connecting you anywhere, anytime.
Hi, I'm Chef Jules Henao, and this is where my true inspiration for cooking started. Like most of us, I learned to cook from my mum. Nothing beats simple recipes where fresh local produce is at the heart, especially when it's a home-cooked meal, prepared and shared with the ones you love. And in PNG, no meal is complete without rice. And my choice is always True Guy. True Guy, true inspiration through generations.
At IPI Catering, we understand the intricacies of the environments in which we work, providing innovative, fresh and creative catering solutions. Our experience and commitment is a winning combination, delivering great food anywhere and anytime. IPI Catering, part of the IPI group of companies.
This Thursday on Sports Scene, Port Moresby women's softball underway, Corporate Sevens slow pitch head into finals.
They're allowing us to come and host the Sevens, Corporate Sevens.
And SP Sports Awards launched. Sports Scene, this Thursday at 7 p.m. on your number one to watch, EMTV.
You are watching National EMTV News. Waigani Christian College has seen an historical milestone today by opening new facilities for the upcoming university. A team from the Philippines Christian University came to partner with Waigani Christian College to run courses while Waigani Christian College goes through processes of becoming a university of its own.
The principal for Waigani Christian College, Abakure Kaupa, explained on the status of the school to be a university.
They gave the initial okay, there are requirements, if you can meet it, why not go ahead, because we need universities in the country. So on that, given that initial okay, we went ahead and then we did an expression of interest. And then we worked with the Department of Higher Education, Research, Science and Technology, and we realized that there was more to it, so we were supposed to meet many more requirements and all that.
He said they went ahead with the processes on to be a university.
We went, and then on the 17th of December last year, we got into an MOU that we don't have the accreditation, we don't need many of the, meet many of the requirements, but we have an institution that is registered under the Companies Act, and then with their accreditation, which is internationally recognized, we can then start, they can come under us and we can start offering their accredited courses. That was the arrangement, and then we signed an MOU on the 17th that goes on a 4-year MOU that will run from 2025 to 2028. And the idea was during that period, because we don't have the accreditation, our partner will run their courses through us. And during that time, we will use it to upgrade and build our facilities.
The director for the school and member for Notwagi, Benjamin Mould, said it is good to start somewhere to be successful instead of waiting for a better time to start.
The Papua New Guinea Christian University was registered under IPA. It's a company name. So at the company name, you can do any business. You can set up university. You can do any kinds of business. But then the university name was very powerful, so that really caught the attention of the big shots. And then yesterday we had a meeting, and so we decided to come down. But I set up my goal already. University is already there. I covered it. It's covered inside there. So when you go, I think I will leave it like this. After 4 years, I will take the yellow lap out, and then you will see Papua New Guinea Christian University. Yeah, you have to set your dreams, set your plan, strategize, and you go on what? Achieve it.
The governor for Juaka commended the managing director for the great initiative.
Setting up your extension here and eventually building up this college to become the Christian University of Papua New Guinea. And I thank you.
The Philippines Christian University Papua New Guinea campus will start the enrollment in mid-year as per the managing director. A total of 14 newly built classrooms were also allocated to the faculty to start off the academic year, and 2 buses were also given to them. Present at the event to represent the office of the Ministry of Higher Education was the first secretary to Minister Kinokofio, Chapman Namaro. The dedication of the classrooms and the buses was led by the priest and ministry pastor for PNG Bible Church, Simon Kuman. Samantha Solomon, National EMTV News.
Department of Works and Highways officially launched and unveiled its 50th anniversary logo yesterday in Port Moresby. During the launching ceremony, Secretary for the Department of Works and Highway, Gibson Olemba, said the launching of the logo marks the commencement of the department's 50th independence anniversary celebrations.
We have our own celebration. We will invite the Minister and the Prime Minister to come. Going forward, we have programs set up. For every month, we will have an event in each of the provinces. And the Deputy Field Operations will issue those instructions to the regional managers and the works managers to start organizing starting next week at Berena Station. Hence, our Vice Minister is here. So we will start opening the Hiritana Highway, which was opened during the World Bank program in 2010, I guess, or 2009.
Minister for Works and Highway, Solan Mirisim, who was the keynote speaker at the occasion, said the logo was symbolic and represents how far the country has fared, especially in terms of infrastructure development. He said the Department of Works and Highways was the pillar of infrastructure development throughout the years. Meanwhile, he pledged his full support as the Minister for Works and Highways.
But as your Minister, I will always and will be behind this ministry, support you, support where I can in NEC, in terms of budgets, in terms of policy, in terms of law, anything. As your Minister, I will be forefront to make sure all these things are delivered until we go into 50 years.
Meanwhile, Minister Solan Mirisim said the Connect PNG program is workable and is felt by many.
Whilst sharing his experience with the department, the Minister for Works and Highways and member for Telefomin, Solan Mirisim, said Connect PNG's main purpose is to connect the missing links in the country.
The road, the one of the missing link. So, Mika Minister Longan time law Connect PNG. Connect PNG program where now we blog that come inside of this program now blog where one of the major program is to connect almost 1 million people who are not connected by roads, who are unconnected must be connected and unreached must be reached. So that was my policy when I come in.
He shared his experience in his district where land transport was never used before.
Into that time of this connectivity that the entire community need to be connected by road. So I went to Christmas to Telefomin. For the first time, the road reached Telefomin today. Because when I go to Telefomin, I go through Hagen, I go through Vanemo, I go through Wewek, or even through Kiunga or Taubel. Wait for a few days to get a plane or chopper into Telefomin. That's how difficult it is. And then if it goes almost 3 or 4 days, the kids will be saying, no, let's go back to Port Moresby. So this Christmas, I went home to Telefomin. I went to Kiunga with all my family, and for the first time, we can drive to Telefomin.
Mirisim said the program is truly touching the lives of people, and is a real program that people are feeling the impact.
So this is how the Connect PNC program is actually touching the lives of the people. In the villages, very remote, isolated people who has not received any road. So for me, Connect PNC is a good program, and if we work for another 20 years, probably we will be connected.
Samantha Solomon, National EMTV News.
The Deputy Prime Minister, John Rosso, officially announced yesterday the addition of 3 countries to the existing visa on arrival eligible country list. Passport holders from the United Kingdom, Canada and Singapore are now eligible to get visa on arrival in Papua New Guinea. Rosso, who is also responsible for the Immigration and Border Security Ministry, said the government is reciprocating visa on arrival with countries who offer the same to Papua New Guinea nationals. Papua New Guinea's mineral exploration and mining sectors are once again on display at the Prospectors and Developers Association of Canada 2025 convention in Toronto. The three-day convention commenced on Monday this week is the world's premier mineral exploration and mining convention that attracts about 30,000 attendees from over 130 countries annually.
A team from the Mineral Resources Authority and the Ministry of Mining, led by Minister Wakegoi, are attending the convention. The theme is purposely attending the convention to promote PNG's vast mineral exploration and mining industry to potential investors on this global platform. PNG is showcasing advanced projects that need financing and potential joint venture arrangements, current airborne geophysics and geochemical data sets. Update on Consolidated Mining Standard Initiative between 2012 to 2018, most of the country was taken up by companies exploring for mineral resources. However, since 2019, PNG has seen a decline in mineral exploration interest due to lack of geoscience data, amongst other issues. Another major concern for the government has been the depletion of mineral resources and the fact that most of the major operating mines will be closed down by 2060. PNG's participation in the convention will be an opportunity to once again generate interest from global exploration and mining industry players. Esther Gane, National EMTV News.
Prime Minister James Marape has issued a strong call to action for Papua New Guinea's agriculture sector, urging an immediate shift from subsistence farming to commercial agriculture as a means of driving economic growth, job creation, and national self-sufficiency.
Speaking after a high-level meeting with agricultural leaders and key stakeholders, the Prime Minister underscored the urgent need to transform the agriculture sector into the backbone of PNG's economy. He stressed that agriculture remains the most sustainable and inclusive path to national prosperity given the country's rich land, favorable climate and resources. Also present at the meeting were Agriculture Minister, Coffee Minister, Livestock Minister and Oil Palm Minister, all of whom pledged their support for the government's renewed agricultural agenda. The Prime Minister directed agriculture sector leaders to prioritize lands near ports and major road networks, ensuring that production areas are well connected to markets. He urged all provincial and local governments, including the autonomous Bougainville government, to identify suitable land for large-scale agricultural development. The Prime Minister set a 10-year transformation goal, calling for structured policy reforms, increased investment. The Prime Minister set a 10-year transformation goal, calling for structured policy reforms, increased investment in agro-processing, and the establishment of export-driven supply chains. The Prime Minister called on all Papua New Guineans, particularly the younger generation, to embrace this transformation. Esther Gane, National EMTV News.
Now we take a look at the next final market report. The kina closed unchanged at $0.2487 in the interbank market. At Bank South Pacific, your kina was buying $0.2412, $0.3826 Australian dollars, €0.2197 and 35.79 Japanese yen. Looking at commodity prices at New York close, gold is trading higher, coffee closed higher, cocoa closed higher, copra closed higher, palm oil closed lower, crude oil is trading lower, and copper closed lower. On the stock market, the Dow Jones closed lower, the ASX 200 is trading lower, and the All Ordinaries is trading lower. National EMTV News continues after the break. Stay with us.
Share the love with Gullah Ice Cream, Gullah Cone Ice Creams, Gullah Stick Ice Creams, and Gullah Classic Tub Ice Creams. Happiness begins with the Gullah range of fun flavors which create taste adventures and excitement with every bite. Treat yourself. Share with a friend while chilling. The whole family will enjoy. Everyone has their favorite. Which one is yours? Share the love with Gullah Ice Creams. Gullah, Gullah, yum.
Dear son, you ask me how I live such a good life. Yes, I've had some good luck, like the day I met your mother. But it wasn't always that way. I've made some good choices too, like working hard and keeping my super with NASFAN. They looked after it for me, which meant I could concentrate on looking after my family. Living each day, knowing that when the time came, I'd be ready for tomorrow. Love, Dad.
Meet the bank for everyone, everywhere. As People's Microbank, we were proud to be a bank for the people. Now as National Banking Corporation, we are bringing modern banking to all in Papua New Guinea. With more branches and our friendly staff ready to assist you in more places, we are making money matters simple and fair. So wherever you are, however you say it, say hello better banking. Learn more at nbcpng.com.pg.
Hi, I'm Chef Jules Henao, and this is where my true inspiration for cooking started. Like most of us, I learned to cook from my mum. Nothing beats simple recipes where fresh local produce is at the heart, especially when it's a home-cooked meal, prepared and shared with the ones you love. And in PNG, no meal is complete without rice. And my choice is always True Guy. True Guy, true inspiration through generations.
Are you seeking fulfillment for your life? Do you want freedom from fear? That's why we're here. Welcome to Jesus 101, introducing you to the real Jesus. And now, here's your host, Elizabeth Talbot.
Jesus 101, Saturday at 7 a.m. and Sunday at 7:30 a.m. Only on your number one to watch, EMTV.
EMTV News A Closer Look returns for 2025, the current affairs program that brings to you weekly insights for the latest on education, health, business, politics,
I just want to make that clear,
sports, and more. A Closer Look, every Sunday at 7 p.m. on your number one to watch, EMTV.
You are watching National EMTV News. Prime Minister James Marape has hailed the continued success of the flexible open and distance education program, which continues to experience growth in enrollment numbers each year since its inception, with academic year 2025 to have over 100,000 students from across the country.
As the founder of the Ford Initiative, Prime Minister Marape says the program for over many years now opened doors to second chance education for youths who are school dropouts or adults who could not make it through the formal education system, has seen over 1 million students enrolled who have rebuilt their passion and dreams for their careers. The Prime Minister acknowledged Education Minister's recent announcement of Ford enrollment numbers nationwide reaching the 100,000 mark this year, and also the fact that over 50% of Ford students from last year 2024 qualified for university admission. Prime Minister Marape stated that he initiated the Ford program when he was Minister for Education in 2009. The government has also enabled those completing grade 12 and the FOAD program to apply through the online application system under the Department of Higher Education, thus enabling them to be selected under the online selection system. Prime Minister urged all people across the nation who are not formally educated or have not fully completed school to enroll under programs such as FOAD. Esther Gane, National EMTV News.
Lagaib Open MP Amos Akem was officially sworn in as the chairman of the Permanent Parliamentary Committee on Law and Order at the Parliament House yesterday. Our Party parliamentary member was appointed by the Pangu-led Maraperoso government several months ago during the last parliament sitting of 2024. The official swearing-in ceremony marks Akem's formal assumption of the leadership role. Western Highlands Provincial Member Wairapa has arranged road security for the Western Highlands Divine Word University graduating students and their families to travel safely to attend the 43rd graduation ceremony in Medang.
As the provincial member Wairapa prioritized much in the education sector of the province, Rapa was keen to have his human resource graduate and arrive back home safely without any disturbance or security issues along the Islands Highway. Rapa thanked the Western Islands Provincial Police Commander Chief Superintendent John Sagom for a quick response in instructing police to provide road security from Mount Hagen to Divine Word University in Medang Province and back in again after the graduation ceremony. Furthermore, Chief Superintendent John Sagom said, as instructed by the Police Commissioner David Manning, there were no roadblocks along the highway at the moment, but safety of the travelers is paramount after the recent incident. Sagom mentioned that 2 police vehicles will travel with the convoy of students through Medang Province, while the other will turn back from Eastern Islands Province. Chief Superintendent Sagom warned the graduating students and their families not to consume alcohol or cause any misbehave while traveling on the road, as police are going to monitor them. He said all celebrations after the graduation must be brought back to Western Islands Province and not in Medang Province or while traveling on the road. Meanwhile, representing the graduating students and their parents, Hiti Pita has expressed gratitude towards the great leadership role possessed by the provincial member Wairapa in his priority towards education in the province. Edward Luke, National EMTV News, Mount Hagen.
Now moving to overseas news. Queensland's Premier says the window for residents to prepare for tropical cyclone Alfred will close within hours as the system nears the coast.
It is tracking west towards the Queensland-New South Wales border, and it's expected to make landfall late tomorrow or early on Friday morning. Residents from Double Island Point in southeast Queensland through to Grafton in northern New South Wales are being urged to make their final preparations, with destructive winds and heavy rain expected to start later today. The densely populated area of concern includes Brisbane, the Gold Coast, the Sunshine Coast, Byron Bay and Ballina. Residents are being warned to consider moving to evacuation centres if their homes are in flood-prone areas. Authorities are warning 20,000 homes in Brisbane could be impacted by storm surges or flooding. The cyclone is expected to bring damaging winds of more than 100 kilometres an hour and also torrential rain. In northeast New South Wales, residents are stocking up on sandbags and supplies. The cyclone comes 3 years after the region was devastated by widespread flooding. New South Wales Premier Chris Minns says residents in affected areas should evacuate by early Thursday.
Pope Francis is stable as he continues to battle pneumonia in both lungs. The 88-year-old pontiff suffered 2 episodes of acute respiratory insufficiency earlier this week.
Well, after Pope Francis's health took a seemingly concerning turn just a day ago, this latest medical update will come as a relief to many around the world who have been praying for his recovery. In its latest medical update, the Vatican said that he is alert, oriented and collaborative. He doesn't have a fever and he's been alternating between prayer and rest throughout the day. That's after he suffered 2 respiratory crises on Monday. The Vatican says his condition has since stabilised. However, he will use mechanical ventilation in the form of an oxygen mask to help him breathe overnight as a precaution. Over the past fortnight, we've seen a pattern that has emerged where his condition has either stabilised or shown signs of improvement, only for him to seemingly out of the blue suffer some form of respiratory episode or crisis of varying severity. That appears to be what we're seeing, and that's what's making it so hard for his doctors to provide a prognosis with any sort of confidence. It's unclear whether his health condition will continue to improve from here or whether we'll see it decline. It's also unclear whether the prospect of resignation is on the cards, given that Pope Francis has now been absent from his public papal duties for almost 3 weeks now. He won't lead the Ash Wednesday service later today, which he does every year. This is to mark the beginning of Lent on the Christian calendar. He'll now be spending his 19th night in Rome's Gemelli Hospital. It's by far his longest and most concerning hospital stay during his time as pontiff. He was originally admitted with bronchitis, but we now know that he's battling pneumonia in both of his lungs, and this has triggered other complications.
A teenage boy has been arrested over an alleged online threat of violence against a newly opened Sydney mosque.
There was a feeling this morning of resilience in spite of the alleged comments made on social media earlier this week at the Masjid Al-Bayt Al-Islami Mosque, just built on Friday last week during the holy month of Ramadan, when there's supposed to be a time of a deep introspection and expression of the Islamic faith. And yet, because of these alleged comments that were made earlier in the week, there was a state of alarm yesterday afternoon, but then a real effort then from the community to turn out for Fajr prayers this morning. Now, this 16-year-old boy who's been arrested by police is alleged to have said that he was going to do a Christchurch 2.0 on this joint being the mosque here, and an apparent invocation of the mass shooting terrorist attack in Christchurch in 2019, which saw many Muslims killed, 51 people killed in total in that event, which was carried out by an Australian man who's in jail for that event. Now, when we spoke to people coming to the mosque this morning about how they're feeling, they shared their sentiments with us and the current state of play.
National EMTV News continues after the break with Rukai Sports. Stay with us.
Enjoy more talk, more text, and more time online with Telecom More Bundles. Choose from 8 plans ranging from 3 kina with 600 megabytes of data all the way up to 75 kina, loaded with a massive 35 gig. Best of all, each plan comes with an unlimited on-network call minutes plus on-net and off-net talk and text. That's way more time to chat with family and friends. Telecom More Bundles. Top up now.
Dear son, you ask me how I live such a good life. Yes, I've had some good luck, like the day I met your mother. But it wasn't always that way. I've made some good choices too, like working hard and keeping my super with NASFAN. They looked after it for me, which meant I could concentrate on looking after my family. Living each day, knowing that when the time came, I'd be ready for tomorrow. Love, Dad.
At IPI Catering, we understand the intricacies of the environments in which we work. Providing innovative, fresh and creative catering solutions. Our experience and commitment is a winning combination, delivering great food anywhere and anytime. IPI Catering, part of the IPI group of companies.
It's becoming increasingly more important to deal with money laundering and counter terrorist financing.
Join us every Monday nights at 7 p.m. for In Focus, your weekly news and current affairs talk show, which presents in-depth commentaries, discussions, and analysis of the major current affairs issues in Papua New Guinea and in the region.
Areas involving politically exposed persons, reporting of suspicious transactions.
The trend is that we have been seeing increasing number of kidney diseases, ones where we can treat and then they recover.
There are existence of clandestine laboratories illicitly producing crystal meth.
Every Monday nights at 7 p.m.
Trukai Sports.
Welcome to Trukai Sports. After suffering an injury during the Pacific Cup Championship last year, PNG Hunters' second rower Robert Matthias is on the road to recovery and eager for a strong season.
The setback kept him off the field for 2 months, but he remained focused on rehabilitation and training. Now with his fitness improving and waiting confirmation from the specialists, Matthias is optimistic about returning to peak performance.
I'm even got ankle surgery. So, specialist been when I mean talk 2 months in game so. The 2 months and finished last month, January. So now me start this rehab and start running. Injuries and plenty ups and downs, but yeah, I've been going right last end of the season, leading to Prime Minister and now new year, a big year and the challenges too. Waiting me start, but yeah, we're looking forward. So the goals for me, make sure me play over the games for this season. Yeah.
His determination and hard work have fueled his comeback and is looking forward to making a positive impact.
I'm always competitive, always the game. I'm no kind of position. I'm a guarantee any man. We go to work hard, like all come to fight the sport and then we play. Still in Bambla, kind of similar senior, so Bambla just go to sport. We play train hard too. Any sport, yeah. Sport, still one of after any like hard work, yeah. So all two all young boys plenty, all good boys come, energetic and yeah, all ready to play now come and all give plenty challenges all boys and not all but middle boys last up and then yeah, I'm good I'm healthy team so la master challenges now, work on them.
Jonathan Sibona, Trukai Sports.
After successfully completing Leg 1 and Leg 2 competitions, KCK Rigorized Cup is set to host the Leg 3.
The competition featured raw talents from the 4 zones in the nation's capital will kick off on the 15th to 16th of this month. This weekend, the competition will host trial matches for the fully registered teams as they prepare for the round 1 of the competition. Like the other 2 legs of the competition, the top 3 teams will be automatically qualified to compete in the 300,000 kina grand prize playoff. For this round, first placing will walk away with 10,000 kina, 5,000 kina for the second place, and 3,000 kina for the third placing. Jonathan Sibona, Trukai Sports.
In netball, the Wei netball team has qualified for the grand final after defeating CGC3 in the semi-finals.
Wei team captain Laura Nix gave her comments on the game.
Last week's game, like as I mentioned, we had a few hiccups that our game plan didn't go as how we expected. So we had a week of fine tuning on our areas that Mipla lack in our last game, we polished up on those, especially our attacking and our mid-court, and then we had our full team back on for this game. So it was a good one. We came together as a team, just ready, Lokam, and our result spoke for itself. So we won by 1 point. Happy to go into the grand final now, yeah.
She said the team will correct mistakes and prepare for the grand finals against Vodafone.
Well, our preps for this, for the grand final, we are actually trying to make sure that we know whatever areas, especially our shooting was our downfall in the other one. Our defense is spot on. That's our strength, so we polish up on that and work on our attacking, and we should have a good game with Vodafone next weekend, yeah.
Jonathan Sibona, Trukai Sports.
Trukai Sports continues after the break. Stay with us.
Trukai Sports.
They're gold nuggets. There's a flavor for everyone. The best tasting snack. Get a burst of gold nuggets. Cheese flavor.
Mega wow.
Chicken flavor.
Mega wow.
Cheese onion flavor.
Mega wow.
Barbecue flavor. Mega wow.
When you're on the go, one more. One more.
Get that burst of gold nuggets flavor.
Mega wow.
Are you tired of standing in those long lines to get your jackpot tickets? Guess what? You never have to with Telecom USSD jackpot ticket purchase. Simply dial *321#, follow the prompts, and you are set for your jackpot draw. It's as easy as 3, 2, 1. Telecom PNG, connecting you anywhere, anytime.
Meet the bank for everyone, everywhere. As People's Microbank, we were proud to be a bank for the people. Now as National Banking Corporation, we are bringing modern banking to all in Papua New Guinea. With more branches and our friendly staff ready to assist you in more places, we are making money matters simple and fair. So wherever you are, however you say it, say hello better banking. Learn more at nbcpng.com.pg.
Dreaming for more than the life we've known. There is more to what the future holds. You be holy man, no walk one time. Oh, 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 oh. We dare to believe in incredible things. Oh, 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 oh. With money plus we're ready to go.
Join me on House and Home for all your home and lifestyle improvements.
Everything business for me, no. Okay, boss, for me, kay for me.
From Hatok Mom, health and fitness, interest stories, gardening tips, out and about, pet care, and many more. Join me every Tuesday, 7 p.m. on your number one to watch, EMTV.
Hi, I'm Chef Jules Hennell, and this is where my true inspiration for cooking started. Like most of us, I learned to cook from my mum. Nothing beats simple recipes where fresh local produce is at the heart, especially when it's a home-cooked meal, prepared and shared with the ones you love. And in PNG, no meal is complete without rice. And my choice is always Trukai. Trukai, true inspiration through generations.
You are watching Trukai Sports. Moving to overseas sports. In AFL, the Brisbane Lions are calling for the cancellation of their season opener this Thursday night in Brisbane.
With wild weather conditions looming due to Cyclone Alfred. The reigning premiers trained at the Gabba today, where they're set to host the Geelong Cats in 2 days' time. Gale force winds and torrential rain could force a postponement of the match to round 3 when both teams have a bye. The AFL insists it will wait until the very last minute before making a call, while Lions coach Chris Fagan says the game should be called off.
It's just a game of football. The safety of family and friends and staff and fans is the priority. So that's why common sense has to prevail.
That ends Trukai Sports. The Money Plus weather report is next. Stay with us.
Trukai Sports. Trukai Sports.
Hi, I'm Chef Jules Henao, and this is where my true inspiration for cooking started. Like most of us, I learned to cook from my mum. Nothing beats simple recipes where fresh local produce is at the heart, especially when it's a home-cooked meal, prepared and shared with the ones you love. And in PNG, no meal is complete without rice. And my choice is always Trukai. Trukai, true inspiration through generations.
Dear son, you ask me how I live such a good life. Yes, I've had some good luck, like the day I met your mother. But it wasn't always that way. I've made some good choices too, like working hard and keeping my super with NASFAN. They looked after it for me, which meant I could concentrate on looking after my family. Living each day, knowing that when the time came, I'd be ready for tomorrow. Love, Dad.
Attention all students, parents and schools. The Smart Start School promotion is back for 2025. Your school could win a school grant worth 44,000 kina. Here's how. Collect 3 empty packets of Smart Start breakfast biscuits, write your name, number and school on an envelope, put the empty packets inside and drop them into an entry box at a registered school. The school with the highest number of valid entries in each region wins. 1,000 consolation prizes are also up for grabs. Register your school now with Paradise Foods Limited. Smart Start breakfast biscuit, proudly made by Paradise Foods.
You get big data and big value with Telecom Good Pillar mobile data plans. From only 3 kina, you get 1 gig for 24 hours. And for only 150 kina, you get 130 gigs over a whopping 30 days. And with loads of Good Pillar data plans to choose from, there's a small, medium or large plan to match your budget. Dial *777# to subscribe. Telecom, connecting you anywhere, anytime.
This Thursday on Sports Scene, Port Moresby women's softball underway, Corporate 7 slow pitch head into finals.
They're allowing us to come and host the sevens, Corporate 7s.
And SP Sports Awards launched. Sports Scene, this Thursday at 7 p.m. on your number 1 to watch, EMTV.
Remember the joy of playing with your toys as a child? At Money Plus, we believe that every small business deserves a chance to build and grow. That's why we offer asset financing.
Now chance to building something new, to see a different point of view. With Money Plus we're ready to go.
Nipla Halivim Wari Belong You.
This weather update is proudly brought to you by Money Plus, with you always.
The weather report for the next 24 hours. In Southern Region, Port Moresby City, cloudy with chances of few showers with possible thunderstorm. Popondetta, cloudy with possible rain showers and thunderstorm. In the Mamase Region, Lay City, cloudy periods with few showers and possible thunderstorm, and Vanimo, partly cloudy with few showers. In the New Guinea Island region, Lorengau, partly cloudy with chances of brief showers. Buka, partly cloudy with chances of brief showers. In the Islands region, Mount Again City, cloudy with few showers. Mandi, Tari and Wabeg, cloudy with rain showers and possible thunderstorm.
The weather update was proudly brought to you by Money Plus, with you always.
And that wraps up the news, sports and weather for Wednesday, the 5th of March 2025. From all of us here, pleasant viewing and good night.
This news program was proudly brought to you by Smart Start Breakfast Biscuits and Gold Nuggets.
It's Smile O'Clock. It's Smile O'Clock.